Godzilla King of the Monsters from 2019, I believe. Um, yeah, the movie, in my opinion, I think is pretty good. As a movie, it's not great. Some of the dialogue in the movie is not like good. It's directed by a horror movie director who also happens to love Godzilla. I mean, hey, no pun intended. I like Krampus, but I also like this movie too. But I think Krampus is a little bit better. Like, I'm not saying he did a bad, like he didn't make a bad Godzilla movie. It's just that he's kind of more. I kind of prefer making more horror movies than Godzilla movies. He didn't make a bad Godzilla film, but please stick to horror movies, please. I'm not trying. I'm sorry if I sound mean, but this movie, in my opinion, is like the best fan service you can give to Godzilla fans. Like, this movie gave us Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra all in the same screen. Like, they gave us every single monster we wanted. But at the same time, I kind of feel disappointed. I don't know why, but Godzilla King of the Monsters is great fan service. Don't get me wrong. Like, this movie is kind of like No Way. It was like No Way Home for Godzilla fans. And I can see why. Like, whenever like I started getting into my Godzilla phase, like I just started entering, I saw this movie and I was like, oh my god, it's Ghidorah, it's Mothra, it's Rodan. And it was just like candy. It was like eye candy for me. And yeah, and this is like a and also another thing that I do like about this movie is that Zerazawa and Godzilla have a connection. I see. And also the fights in this movie are incredible, but there is something that I have to say about this. It is one of those movies where it's like, look at this huge monster action, and then it switches to humans for like 10 minutes, then like 30 seconds of the like the final battle. But then when there's no more humans, thank God, it's like the best scene I've ever, like it's like the best monster fighting I've ever seen in a movie. And the part where Godzilla just becomes thermonuclear Godzilla. Ah, man, it's gorgeous. And that's where my positives kind of end. I mean, besides the good acting and the really okay script and the scene where like Rodan destroys Mexico. Thanks a lot, Dick. And yeah, and one thing I do really love is that the effects in this movie don't look awful. They're actually pretty good. And those were just like my positives, and now let's go to my negatives. My negatives is that it kind of felt like the movie felt like too rushed. It felt like a different movie than what it was originally supposed to be. And Godzilla doesn't appear like that often in the movie. Like, I get it. Like, not every scene has to be filled with Godzilla. It also has to be about the humans. But like, we only seen Godzilla appear like 3 times in the movies. Like 3 seconds in like an underwater jump scare, and then him battling Ghidorah and like at the Antarctica, and then at the final battle. And that's all we see Godzilla. And in my opinion, I feel like, while I do like seeing Mothra, Rodan, Godzilla, and Ghidorah and like all at the same time, it felt like a little bit rushed. Like, I feel like Ghidorah was like, I feel like, wait, why are they the movie like this early? Like, we're in like 3 films in, and we already got like the biggest names in like the Godzilla franchise, apart from Mecha Godzilla and Hibora, Horror of the Deep. But anyways, yeah, this movie felt like if this movie felt like 3 Godzilla movies into one, and it felt kind of like a rushed impact. And also the monsters felt kind of underutilized. Like, Rodan, he gets killed in the movie. Mothra gets killed in the movie. Ghidorah gets killed in the movie, but then his ghost appears in like Godzilla vs Kong, and then nothing happens. Like, they've been underutilized in this movie is what I'm saying. Like what they do, like they do appear in like Godzilla King of the Monsters, but then they serve nothing for like the MonsterVerse franchise that goes on. And there are some, and I'm not saying like this should be like a whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, but this is what they're doing. First Godzilla movie was about the 2014 attacks, and then Godzilla vs Kong came along, and then Godzilla King of the Monsters came along, and then what did they use? And then in Godzilla vs Kong, they used all the elements of the past movies in that movie. So they're doing a Marvel Cinematic Universe kind of trick, but this film felt like you could remove it from the MonsterVerse and nothing would happen, and nothing would change. So yeah, this movie feels kind of useless. But this movie feels kind of useless in the grand scheme of the MonsterVerse things. But do I think it's a bad movie? No, it's not. Like I said, it's good. It's good. It's good Godzilla fan service, and it's a real treat to the eyes. It's really good, and honestly, it's like my is. I know I said Kong Skull Island is my favorite, but I think this one is the best. Like the best Godzilla. This is like my like second favorite Godzilla. Like my not second favorite. Like I would say third favorite Godzilla film behind 1954 and Shin Godzilla. I haven't seen every Godzilla movie. I haven't seen every Godzilla movie, but I will try my best to watch them. These movies are really like really long to sit through. But anyways, yeah, good fan service. Just not a really tight script and some ideas that felt kind of hopeless. 8 out of 10 in my books. I would recommend it to people who want to watch this movie. Also show us Mecha Ghidorah, please. I know, and no, I'm not gonna count that bullcrap you did in Godzilla vs Kong. Please give us Mecha Ghidorah, please. Please, Warner Brothers. I beg of you.